What's up, guys? I'm Josh Mosman. Welcome to This Week in MXA, episode number 194, presented by O'Neill Racing. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. A couple months ago, we were in Indiana or Illinois? Where were we? Indiana? I think we were in Indiana. We were at the MX Tech factory testing out some MX Tech suspension, and we have a tour of the MX Tech headquarters. Yes, it's in Illinois, and good times there. Smallest little shop, but making some awesome A-kit suspension. Let's head there now for a little tour. All right, guys, we are all the way in Illinois getting ready to race the Red Bud National this weekend. But first, we're hanging out with Jeremy Wilkie of MX Tech Suspension, and we're touring the MX Tech facility. This is my first time here, and I think it's Motocross Action's first time here. Yeah. We've had a relationship with MX Tech for over 20 years now, and finally we're here checking it out. We're gonna do a little tour of the shop.
Yeah, welcome here, guys. So, yeah, actually, right here in our lobby, this is the article that put us on the map. September 2000, it was the Yamaha Fork Shootout. So really big deal, and it's kind of the centerpiece of our office. We're primarily, of course, a business that ships our suspension. We do worldwide business. So Adam and I's office there, it's kind of chaotic. Jerry's office, and he's responsible for our marketing, media, advertising, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, making our way through the building. Let's go ahead and start in the production area.
Quick sec. We don't give away a lot of MXA helmets, so that shows how much Jody trusts Jeremy and the guys at MX Tech. So Jody's signature, John Basher, Daryl Eklund, Dennis Stapleton, and pretty sweet orange helmet in here.
So out here is our production area. So this is where we're going to be working on and servicing our MX Tech hardware as our customers need it updated, serviced, maybe change it to a different bike. A lot of our designs are modular. So you're riding a Kawasaki one year, you're on an Austrian bike the next year, you can actually literally send it in, we can reconfigure it to fit on the new motorcycle. So all of our components are literally handmade, piece by piece. The national shocks are right here. Peter Zavoritsky puts them all together for every customer, and you can see kind of some of his pre-assemblies going. He's got a bunch of, these look like Austrian link bikes he's putting together right now.
Nice.
This is where we manage a lot of our pre-assemblies. So Hayes puts our cartridges together, builds all the raw components into base assemblies that then we can customize for our customers. As a 30-year veteran of the industry, it's been my life's dream to produce suspension components and to build the kind of suspension that I want to work on and produce. And so as we've grown as a company, we've worked more and more towards that goal. And so yes, we produce suspension components, complete forks, shock absorbers right here in the US. We build them all right here in our factory.
So you got your start doing servicing and building stock suspension, OEM stuff, but now how long has it been since you've kind of stopped that side of the business and gone full into making your own forks, making your own shocks, stuff that replaces the stock suspension?
Yeah, so we made our formal entry into being a suspension manufacturer in 2018. And it started with our national shock platform. And of course we were making cartridges and things like that for the OEM forks, and then starting in 19, we were underway to producing our complete fork. The complete fork was officially released in 21. Yeah, of course, we have to show you our LA dyno. So this thing, actually, we're very proud of it. It allows us to test shocks and forks in real world speeds, and it cost more than my first house. So we're upstairs, basically our inventory. So this is where the base pieces are that we assemble into the components downstairs. So you got to watch where you step around here. We've got boxes everywhere. We're kind of at our maximum fill. It's very exciting because we're going to actually double our size in the very near future. We're acquiring our neighbor to the north of us, and that's going to allow us to expand our production facilities and our manufacturing.
All right, Jeremy, so now we're getting into the exciting stuff here. One big question people have, though, is how much of the suspension are you making yourself and how much are you outsourcing? Do you make your own fork tubes, bottom tubes, like DLC coating? What do you do here, and then what stuff do you have to outsource for your suspension?
Yeah, so as far as what we do here, our objective is the parts that are like very heavy on R&D, that need to be very precise, or what we call high mix and low volume. So complicated shapes like axle lugs, spring seats, clevises, shock tops, things like that are what we really focus on, because we need, again, that intricate design in relatively low volume. If we want to make a change, we need to be able to prototype it and produce it quickly. Yeah. And so those difficult parts are really what we focus on. So what we're working on right now is actually clevises for the current model Austrian motorcycles. And so this particular clevis starts as round stock, and it starts in our lathe. and we do the first operation on the lathe, including cutting our dovetail in it. And then we take it over to our 5-axis mill where we'll machine it into the finished product. So this is Anthony. He's one of the wizards here that make the magic happen. And right now he's working on, well, this is actually the Honda lug for the CRFs. Really impressive weight savings, but it comes into all of this design work where we're literally figuring out what's important and what isn't. And we call it like the battle of millimeters or the war on grams. And we're, perpetually squeezing everything to make sure it's both strong, but also incredibly lightweight.
So this is the original casting for the Honda, substantially removed material in pretty much every location. So for example, this lower part here has been removed because our valving is so much lower profile, we don't need this protection around it. So we've pushed that in. We've also substantially saved a lot of weight around here on the knuckle using titanium bolt. On the bracket that holds the brakes, we've used generative design and the finite element analysis in order to make sure that we have the maximum amount of strength with the minimum amount of material. As a machinist here at MX Tech, our goal is to make lightweight, high performance, and beautiful parts for your motorcycle. We work hard so you can go fast. Heck yeah.
All right, so I've been riding with these MX Tech forks for 3 or 4 months now. I've been walking around local tracks and showing people these forks, and a lot of people are blown away by the fork lugs down here. You can see the difference. This is a stock WP XACT air fork with a standard fork lug at the bottom where you kind of bottom out and hit that bumper down there. Well, MX Tech has gotten rid of basically the fork lug, and it looks even cooler when it's on the bike because the fork just goes straight down, no dirt piles up here at the bottom, and it shaves quite a bit of weight. So it's honestly a really cool trinket to show people. Just like aesthetically it looks cool. But Jeremy, why did you guys go to the extent of manufacturing your own fork lugs right here in Illinois, and what's the cool part about it?
Yeah, so we use these in conjunction, of course, with the 49 millimeter tube, but the big advantage is it's a much smaller aluminum envelope, so it's a smaller piece of aluminum, okay, which helps on our weight savings goal. It actually is also stronger, and then in an additional big benefit to unsprung weight, not only is the lug portion lighter, but we actually have then less steel fork tube.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
And it also helps obviously with mud flying off the bottom. Yeah, and it looks pretty trick as well. People are a little blown away when they see me roll to the track and I point at my forks and say, hey, check these things out. So it's pretty cool. Traditionally, you've had to run Luxon triple clamps, right,
yeah,
to accommodate the 49 millimeter forks, because stock KTM are 48s. You had to get the triple clamps with the forks that came with it.
Yes.
So now you're working on a prototype. That's what I've been running. People have been asking me about it.
Yep.
So the prototype is basically fits with the stock clamps.
Yeah. So it's our model year 25 Austrian complete fork. Will be able to be utilized with. Well, of course, we're going to sell it with the Luxon clamps as well.
Yeah.
But for someone that already has clamps or something along those lines,
yeah,
it'll fit inside the OEM dimension fork clamps.
Nice.
And it's still 49 millimeter.
Blood Lubricants. You guys developed your own shock oil with Blood, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we basically in our quest to develop a shock fluid that we felt was the best in the business, Blood was instrumental in making that happen, basically designed this fluid for us. It was a very interesting, in-depth, detailed process, but in the end we ended up with what we believe to be the best fluid available in the industry. As a 30-year veteran of the suspension world, the thing that I'm actually most excited about is right here. If you notice, this is zero health hazard on the MSDS, and the joke is amongst suspension tuners, like the oil gets to us and we all get a little crazy.
Yeah.
And for the younger guys coming up that don't want to expose themselves to a lifetime of this stuff, our fluid's actually got zero health hazard.
That's pretty impressive. So the whole story of it here at MX Tech is you guys are a small but mighty company, custom making your own A-kit suspension, and it's a pretty impressive story to see, and it's been fun for me to ride with the new Blackjack forks. I had some high-level test riders riding with those forks, and they were very, very impressed with how light the front end felt. I really like the stock WP Air forks. I like the light feel that they have, so crossing over to the MX Tech forks, it's awesome that It's, you said it's about a pound difference?
Yeah.
About a pound heavier than a stock air fork, where a regular spring fork drop-in kit,
Typically, a drop-in kit will be almost 4 pounds.
almost 4 pounds heavier. So people that don't, maybe try a lot of different forks, you might not know that weight difference, but for a guy like me that gets to ride a lot of different bikes, it definitely makes a difference. It's pretty cool to feel. So MX Tech, you guys are pretty impressive. Thanks for having us here.
Thanks, Jeff, for coming, Josh.
If you guys haven't seen it yet, we're racing the Red Bud National. The video will already be out by the time this one comes out, so go check it out. Hopefully I did well. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. And yeah, you guessed it, we're at Glen Hullen. This is our office. We're here almost every day. And we've been hard at work working on our 450 shootout. So when this video releases, we're gonna be deep into more 450 shootout photos and videos. But let's head right over there. We got some fun clips of the whole MXA Wrecking Crew, or at least most of the MXA Wrecking Crew, testing some new 2025 450s. This week in MXA, we are out at Glen Hullen as usual. This is our office, and we got the full crew out here today. It's a very relaxing day, kind of. Normally we're out here grinding away on a bunch of things, but today's pretty laid back. We got lots of guys riding with us today, and we're getting closer to our 450 shootout. And for me, it's my second day back riding, so I'm gonna get my first experience on the Yamaha 450 and also the Honda 450. Both bikes have seen quite a few updates, so for me, it's all about learning those bikes, getting the ins and outs. I've already heard the lowdown from the rest of our crew, but now it's time to learn more about it for myself as we inch closer to our 450 shootout. So stay tuned for that one. And now it's time to talk to some of the guys here. Whenever my friend tells me he wants to buy a Suzuki, I always say you need to try it first. So today, Cameron Przinski, Kemtrowski, what do you think about the Suzuki after your first experience on it today?
Well, it's not the fastest bike I've ridden. It's not the slowest, but definitely the slowest 250 I've ridden. Yeah, I've ridden 65s that are slower for sure, but yeah, it's overall it handled really well. It doesn't do anything exciting. It so far seems to turn in almost too well. Like it wants that inside, and unfortunately it doesn't quite have the power for the hold up for really slow turns, so you have to be kind of mindful of how you ride the bike. But overall I think it's a very predictable bike. It didn't take me long to feel comfortable and feel like I could ride it at race pace within a couple laps. So it's a good quality bike. It's just not super exciting so far.
All right, so I just met Dave here, and he was looking at our Yamaha, making sure that the kill switch bolt, or the nut didn't stick out too long, the bolt, right?
Yeah.
And so ours, luckily on the Yamaha, doesn't stick out too far, but he was telling us a little bit about the dangers of it. Dave, show us your finger. So what happened?
I just said it was a normal crash, high side. As I went over the bars, somehow my hand hooked on that little bolt, and it just took the end of my finger and my glove right off with it.
Crazy.
And so I didn't finish my moto. So I had surgery on that day, and then the next day I went ahead and had eye surgery. I didn't have anything else to do, so so I got all that out of the way. But yeah, everybody out there, check your kill switch bolt on your older Yamahas. All the two-strokes come with them, and move it to the other side of the clutch purse as well.
And maybe even chop off a couple threads, because you don't need that long of threads, right?
Yeah, I spaced mine out so it doesn't stick out at all anymore.
Yeah.
Both my two-strokes.
All right, well, there you have it. Now he's got 9.5 fingers.
Hey,
but
grip is still there.
Grip is still there.
That's right.
Josh Fout, Josh Mosman. It's the Josh and Josh show with Triple Josh action behind the camera with Josh Hawley. Josh Fout, you're wearing some vented O'Neill hardware air gear today.
Yep.
I'm wearing the Prodigy. How are those vents working out right now so far?
Airwear is good. I mean, we were talking about this last week. In California, for the most, you pretty much want vented gear year round. Even when it's cold, it's not that cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, this O'Neill, this jersey is great for today. White, hot day.
450 shootout. Any thoughts about it?
Yeah, I think I kind of got my ranking there, but we're gonna have to wait, to get that information till later.
Okay. What about your berm blast? Have you been practicing that? Because when it comes time to shooting the video and the photos, pressure's on. We have like 10 of us all there watching each other blow up berms, making it look cool for the video. Have you been doing any training?
I had one good one out there, but that's only because I wasn't thinking about it. Come shootout, I'm sure I'll be terrible. I think I race too much, so I try to do form too often.
Yeah.
So my photo skills are subpar.
Taking cool photos and going fast are two completely separate things. And yeah, it's definitely kind of weird when it's like everything you know about being efficient on the bike and having good technique, throw it out the window and go blast the berm, and it'll look really cool in the magazine and cool on video, but it won't be fast in a race. So
that's why we have our guys. Ezra Lewis, Brian Medeiros, Josh Moseman. the guys who are just good at hanging it all out there and just forgetting about all that proper technique.
Ezra Lewis is Ezra Sexton. We love his technique. So, all right, Josh Fout. What are you riding today?
Just got off the KTM 450. I think next will be the Honda, and then the Yamaha, all 450s today.
450 Life, Josh Fout, Josh Hawley, Josh Mosman. Back to you, Josh. And of course, this weekend is the first round of the Super Motocross playoffs in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going to be an exciting one, so stay tuned for that. And also, MXA Fantasy League, get signed up for the app. It's free to download, free to play. And if you're in the running right now, we're getting close to giving away our Triumph TF 250X to the winner of the MXA Fantasy League for all 31 rounds of the season. So pretty awesome stuff. If you're not playing, you could jump on there and win some awesome prizes. So good stuff. See you guys on the MXA Fantasy League app. And thank you guys for watching this video. We had a lot of fun at the MX Tech headquarters. Really impressive what they can do with their suspension there. And we've been having a lot of fun testing these 2025 models. It's pretty hard to figure out exactly where each one ranks, but that's what makes it exciting. So stay tuned for our 450 Shootout video coming soon.